Hey everyone! So I wanted to share a message with you today. It is actually going to be shared through an object lesson, and it's going to be about honesty in the book of Genesis. So first, to start off, just a little bit of questions. So have you guys ever told a lie where you were worried about getting in trouble, so you just had to think of something on the slide because you didn't want to tell the truth? If so, that's being dishonest. That's telling a lie. Basically, now one of my questions are, what is a lie? Some people may or may not know what a lie is. Everyone has told a lie in their life. Everyone. No person is better than the next. So a lie is whenever you are being untruthful. So you are purposely trying to have someone get false information when you knowingly know that it's not the truth. So you are having intent to deceive someone. That's a lie. So here today in my message, I have my little book here, so if you see me look down, that's what it is. I take notes. For the object lesson, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm using just in case you'd want to do the object lesson for someone else, but you'll need glue. Any kind of glue works. And 2 pieces of paper. I just have this colored on the back because you're supposed to use construction paper, but I didn't have any. Alright. So, out of these 2 pieces of paper, you have the very nice clean one, and then you just have a paper with like a little bit of a background. So this piece of paper here is completely flawless. See it? It's nice, it's clean. There's nothing really wrong with this piece of paper. If you think about it, what would happen if we ripped this paper into tiny pieces? So if I just went like this, 1. You know, every time we lie to our parents, we're ripping the piece of paper. Every time we lie to our family, we're ripping the piece of paper. When we lie to teachers, people we look up to, strangers, just people everywhere, anywhere you see, we are ripping that trust that we have with our parents and our family into little pieces. This was the trust. Into little pieces. Okay, so you think of it that way. Your trust is completely gone. Every time you lie, it turns into a little lie, and then another little lie, and then another little lie. And it just keeps adding up. And then there's a whole bunch of little lies. Okay? So, now for a thought. You're like, oh, okay. Well, that little lie is not going to hurt anyone. It doesn't matter. Now you have this little piece of paper. Nothing wrong with it. What happens if we try to put all of our little lies back together? Those little pieces of paper that we just ripped up, I'm just going to put it on the background of this piece of paper. I'm going to try to put it back to how it was. Now in this part, kind of hard because you already ripped this paper into little pieces, so you don't really know where the pieces went. It's hard to put back together. So then you have something that looks like this. I just want you to take a moment and look at this piece of paper. Does it look the same? Does this piece of paper look the same as the beginning? Your answer is no. No, this piece of paper does not look the same. So, the lesson that I'm trying to tell you guys is in the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve were the first people that God created. He created them in his image. In his image. God gave them absolutely everything that they needed. He gave them trees. He gave them grass. He gave them animals. Anything that they could ever need in life, God had supplied Adam and Eve with that. He gave them everything. So that left Adam and Eve nothing to ever worry about. Okay, so Adam and Eve never had to worry about anything because God gave it to them. God supplied them with anything they'd ever need. So, in Genesis 3, verse 3, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So basically that is saying that God is telling Adam and Eve to not eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If not, you'll die. So, in this, Satan was disguised as a serpent. So, the serpent, which was Satan, tried to convince Eve that she could eat from the tree. You're like, oh my goodness, okay. So, trying to understand it, just to break it down a little bit. So, Satan was the serpent, and then the serpent is trying to twist things, and by things, what he's trying to twist is the truth. So, the serpent twisted the truth to Eve, and Eve was so convinced by the serpent that she actually took the fruit from the forbidden tree and gave some to Adam, and they ate it together. Now let me read you this. So, I have my Bible here. So in Genesis 3, verse 8, I think that I'm going to do 8 through 13. So, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Why were they hiding from him? Because they ate the fruit of the tree. They weren't supposed to. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? So right now, Adam and Eve are currently hiding from God, and God can't find them. So he wants to know where they are. So he wants to talk to them. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I command thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. So right there, verses 8 through 13. Satan was disguised as the serpent and convinced Eve to take fruit from the tree and eat it. And Eve gave it to her husband Adam. So, not a single person, not Adam nor Eve, they didn't want to own up to the fact that they had sinned against God. What happened here? If you really think about it, Adam and Eve disobeyed and they were not honest with God. The consequence was they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Could you imagine that? God has given them every single thing they needed. Everything. But because they were dishonest and untruthful, they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So, basically, the moral of my whole lesson is when we don't tell the truth, bad things can happen. It can hurt people. Every single action that you take in life has a consequence. If you are acting bad, you're going to have a bad consequence. There's never a good ending if you start with a bad beginning. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you think about it today, what truth was God teaching you in Genesis? What was he teaching you? What do you learn about people? And what do you learn about God? Being honest is so important, guys. And I feel like a lot of us have not only lost our touch with God, but have started to lose our touch with being honest. We need to come back. We need to come together. We need to start being honest. No matter the consequence, be honest. But more importantly, if you follow God, God will lead you in the right direction. That is all I have to say for you guys. Just really take time to think about that. I love each and every one of you, and try to have a wonderful day. God bless every single one of you.